And welcome back to Atreyu News. More from Red State Watcher. Since breaking with Trump, things have gotten worse for Macy's. Since breaking with Trump in 2015, has it been that long already? Wow, time flies. Macy's stock has plunged over 50%. Over 50%. Wow. Look at that downward spiral. Got News reported retail failing giant Macy's stock prices collapsed more than 50% from a July 2015 high when the corporation loudly announced that it was cutting ties with the then Republican president candidate Donald J. Trump over his controversial comments about Mexican immigration. And what is it that he said about Mexican immigration? He said that the illegals have to be stopped. So Macy's comes out with a brilliant idea. Let's demonize Trump for following the law. And this is what they have to show for it. Oh man, how sweet is that? Macy's stock was trading at a recent high of 72.31 per share in July 2015, shortly after announcing that it was dropping Trump on July 1st of 2015. Today, this stock was worth just $32.90 per share. A massive 54% collapse. See, that's what you get. That's funny. Wow. Tom Brady has words on Patriots White House visit, and it's big. You know, I was never really a sports fan. I don't really watch sports. But when Trump made a buzz about Tom Brady this and Tom Brady that, I figured I'd check it out. And then once the Patriots come back with that massive comeback, I'd never seen anything like it. And from what I understand, the world has never seen anything like it. So that certainly caught my attention. They almost made me a football fan. Almost. From the Hill. Tom Brady calls visiting the White House a great experience, but he is encouraging his fellow New England Patriots to make their own choice about a meet and greet with President Trump. Everyone has their own choice, Brady told PFT Live on Tuesday when asked about the advice he would give to teammates who were undecided about joining the trip to the White House. Putting politics aside, it never was a political thing. The quarterback and five-time Super Bowl champion said of his multiple trips to 1600 Pennsylvania Ave, "At least it never was to me. It was something that was a privilege to do. It meant you won a championship and you got to experience something cool with your team, with your teammates." Last week, defensive lineman Alan Branch became the sixth Patriot to announce he'll be skipping the traditional visit to Trump's White House. While Branch didn't specifically cite Trump in his decision not to attend, other teammates have said their choice to back out of the trip was a form of protest against the commander-in-chief. Okay, yeah, you go ahead and protest with your $20 million in so-called white privilege. Trump has called Brady a friend, and the four-time Super Bowl MVP has reciprocated, dubbing the then real estate mogul a good friend in 2015 interview. Brady didn't attend a 2015 visit to the White House with then President Obama to celebrate his team's win that year. There are certain years, like a couple years ago, I wanted to go and then didn't get the opportunity based on the schedule. We didn't get told, I think, like 10 days before we were going. At that point, I had something I had been planning for months and couldn't agree there. Well, I'm sure people will argue with me, but on paper, it appears this is the best quarterback of all time. So, something to be said about that. Breaking. Senate just confirmed a cabinet member, and look who it is. AP News reported, the Senate has confirmed former Wrestling Entertainment executive Linda McMahon to lead the Small Business Administration. The vote was 81-19. Wow. Now that's a landslide. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell of Kentucky says McMahon will prioritize growing jobs over growing government bureaucracy and calls that a welcome change from Washington. McMahon served as Chief Executive Officer at World Wrestling Entertainment Inc. before stepping down to run twice for the Senate in Connecticut. She lost both races despite spending some $100 million. The two Democrats who defeated her Richard Blumenthal and Chris Murphy backed her nomination to lead the Small Business Administration. Well, I know her husband, the other McMahon, who owns the WWE. I mean, that thing's been around since the 80s. Hugely successful. Probably one of the most entertaining things to watch. I've even watched it a couple times, like the Super Bowl of wrestling. Can't remember what it's called, WrestleMania, I think it is. One hell of a show. So having that kind of success in the wrestling industry, I feel optimistic with her chances of succeeding at that. Breaking. Julian Assange creates his own Twitter. Check out his first tweet. Now, it's hard not to admire this man for what he had done, because even though he seems to be neutral for most of the time, he really laid the hammer to Hillary Clinton in the election, remember? That was brutal. The WikiLeaks, day after day after day. Like, the amount of documents there should be enough to put someone away for at least 1,000 years in prison or something. But I think he played a vital role in Trump's ultimate victory. Julian Assange, publisher at WikiLeaks, refugee, picking the lock to the chain that enslaves mankind. Ignorance, no wars without lies, no peace without truth. And how true a statement is that? His first tweet, rumors of my death have been greatly exaggerated. Every other day this guy's dead. I think I heard more rumors about his death than anybody else. It's like every 6 hours, Julian Assange is dead. And he travels around the world and dies in every country. Isn't that something?